Hello there, dear YouTubers. My name is King1993, and today is another day of me trying to explain another Super Mecha Champion Mecha. And today's Mecha is called Hotsteel. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, Hotsteel is a free Mecha. You can get it after 1 week. You have make a new account, so it is a free Mecha. Now, when it comes to the ability of this Mecha has tornado missiles, or let's say primary weapon. This is the secondary weapon. This is a normal jump. This is a tactical skill, and this is called core skill. Okay, this core skill is called overheated. So that's the thing. I have not announced their name because those are little bit tricky to understand. Okay, so anyway, to further understand how to use this mecha, we'll be going to the training ground to actually give a proper idea of how to use that mecha. Okay. Now here is the thing. Before I was using Doomlight on a regular basis. I used to use Hotsteel only on a regular basis. Okay, but after a certain point, I realized that Hotsteel is not my most favorite mecha because its ability to defend itself against enemies' attack is not as good as when it comes to Doomlight. Okay, so that's the thing. Now let's talk about the attack module. So when it comes to the attack module that I used on a regular basis was clip and not presence. Why? Because here's the thing: the AOE attack, okay, the area of damage attack is already very high, so there is no need for you to actually have another of this. So instead of doing that, I just increase the overall clip capacity because it has a clip capacity of only 7, and having more is a very good option. Okay. Now the second one is defense module. Now there in the defense module, what it basically does is once you use the tactical skill, you'll be receiving 20% less attack for 4 seconds. Okay, and there is this iron wall. What does this iron wall does is it basically causes 180% less damage if you are shooting within 12 degrees. So what it basically means is, let's say you are shooting an enemy, and if the enemy is directly shooting back at you from that distance, then you will not be receiving 180% or 180 damage. Okay, so that is basically how it works. Now for this reason, I suggest that you use unyielding, because the main purpose of using this is when you use the tactical skill, you will not be receiving additional damage for 4 seconds, which is why this is actually better than this one. Okay, now the last one is called uh, propulsion module. Now there are two type of propulsion module here. One is primary weapon velocity. Again, one of those things. Okay, so some of you said, can't I just lower the volume? Here's the thing: there is no option to lower the volume of someone else's speaking. So that's the main problem here. Anyway, so there is this march, which basically increases the speed of the primary weapon, and this one increases this overheat or this core skill uh, ability to recover its energy. Okay, so here's the thing: you will be using this, but not as much as you think you will be using. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, let me give you an example. Okay, so these are the thing. Now let me give you the example. What do I mean by that? Here's the thing: if you use hot steel, okay, and then you try to hit the enemy, then what will happen is you will recover at least 10% of total durability. Okay, when you do that, you will be receiving 10% of total durability. But here's the thing: when you use a solo steel, what it does is it makes a secondary weapon become more powerful. But here's the thing: in order for you to actually use the secondary weapon, all of this is gonna get used. Okay, all of this is gonna get used. Okay, let me show it to you again. See, the total amount of damage it makes is about 800, but the total amount of energy it needs back, it takes a large time to actually get it back. So after 5 hit, I was able to get back all of this energy. Now I can shoot it again, but the amount of damage it does is actually not equivalent to the amount of uh, resources that you are going to be putting here. So based on that, what I suggest is that you stick with this battle frenzy. Okay. Okay, so okay, so let's start. So here is the thing: the secondary weapon consumes all of the this overheat, and this one is basically just give Hotsteel the ability to recover durability. So from that point of perspective, obviously you'll be using this a lot more than this, because here is the thing: every time I have this, I throw away the core 2 modules instead of keeping this. So yeah, that is basically the thing, that the core module that I select on a regular basis is core 1 and not core 2. Okay. Now let's go to that place to actually talk about the overall the shooting speed of this mecha. Now the shooting speed of this mecha is fine in mid range and short range, but when it comes to long range battle, this is not fine. Okay. For example, when you see the accuracy is 100% accurate. So you will be 100% attacking the enemy mecha, and within 7 hits, the enemy mecha will be destroyed. So obviously, from that point of perspective, even the long range mecha is gonna be having hard time beating up Hotsteel. Okay, but what about the secondary attack? The secondary attack doesn't actually go that far. Okay, so yeah, you can't use a secondary attack on that place. But the question remains is, okay, if such is the case, then how come this mecha is considered as a mid range and short range but not a long range? Well, here's the thing: because the amount of time it takes for the primary weapon to travel the enemy mecha, once they once they understand where the attack is coming from, they are gonna be able to run away from that place. So obviously, from that point of perspective, this is not a very good option. Okay. Now, when it comes to the mid range, the primary attack and the secondary attack are more than enough to actually destroy the enemy mecha very easily. Obviously, you need to hide and do it, otherwise it is gonna be a little bit troublesome. Now, as you come towards the short range, there are many things that you can do. One of the thing is, while you attack, you have to go up. Now, why should you go up? Here is the thing: there is a certain limit up to how much distance up in the sky a mecha can actually aim. Because if it is way too much back, obviously they cannot go any more back, because that is a limitation. It is like a physical limitation. Okay, like this mecha, if it goes too much high, it cannot aim more than its a certain amount of height distance. Okay, so once you are near a certain mecha, the thing that you want to do is get up and then use the primary and the secondary weapon. Okay, and obviously you have to be careful, because when you use the secondary weapon, the the fuel the uses of fuel gets stopped. So from that point of perspective, see, you have to use the secondary attack at the last moment. And how can you do so? Well, let's see the example. So at the last moment, I have used that. Okay, at the last moment, you will be also be going down, but at least you will be able to hit back at the enemy mecha one last time. Okay, so that is one of the tactics. Another tactics number 2 in the short range is when you shoot up and go. Obviously, you will have to use a secondary weapon and then use the tactical skill to ram at them. Okay, and that will also do an additional damage towards them. So what does it mean? It basically means that in order for you to actually destroy the enemy mecha, you have not only 2 options, you have total 4 options in defeating your enemy mecha. One of them is jumping up in the sky, primary weapon and the secondary weapon, and once all of those are done, you can then ram at the enemy. Okay, and then do additional damage. Or if you see that another enemy is coming nearby, you can basically run away from the battlefield after the current mecha is destroyed. Let's say this current mecha is gonna get destroyed. Okay, done. I'm out of that place. So that is how you should be using this mecha when it comes to a close range battle. In doing so, what will happen is, if you are against a teammate in a battle royale, at least once one of the teammates dies, you will be able to get away from that place, so that the other teammates will not be able to attack you very easily. Okay, so that is basically why you should be using these few methods to actually destroy them. Now another part is when it comes to Doomlight. However, Doomlight produces a shield. Now in order for you to actually break the shield, what you have to do is, whenever Doomlight apply the shield, let's say in this case Hotsteel, or let's say a Firestar has the shield. Okay, let's say Hotsteel has the shield. Okay, so my main target should be is to ram into the shield. And why is that? Because once you ram into the shield of the enemy mecha, ram as in uh, going forward to attack the enemy, that is using this tactical skill, what will happen is you will be breaking the shield, or at least you will be near the shield a good enough time so that you can go over the shield and shoot at the Doomlight. Okay, so once you use this method, then what will happen is you will be able to destroy Doomlight without even breaking the Doomlight shield. Okay, so again let me show it to you again. Destroy the shield, shoot the Doomlight. Okay, or even if you do not destroy the shield, there is no problem with that. What you have to do is, when you use this, you are basically near the Doomlight shield and go past the Doomlight shield and then shoot the enemy mecha. So that is basically how you can use this method to destroy Doomlight. Okay. Now let's talk about the sneak attack of this mecha. Now this mecha actually has 5 type of sneak attack. Okay, I'll be explaining all of them one by one. So first of all, let's go to a certain place such as this one to do. Okay, here's the thing. So here is the thing. This mecha, because this mecha has the propulsion capability, you can basically get up and then use the secondary weapon to do about 600 damage. Okay, so that is one of the method. Another method is you can just launch up in the sky. Okay, and then shoot down. By doing so, what will happen is you are basically surprising the enemy mecha. So this is the sneak attack 2. Now sneak attack 3 is basically using a certain object to hide most of your body, so that when they try to shoot you back, you can actually hide behind the object. Okay, and you can also use the secondary weapon to shoot. So this is sneak attack 3, I guess. Now sneak attack 4 is basically when you see an enemy mecha and you know that the enemy mecha has low shield but is hiding in a place that where you must need to be near the mecha to in order to destroy them. What you can do is use a tactical skill, destroy the primary shield, and then keep on attacking, and eventually they will run out of durability. Okay, so that is 3, or is it 4? I think it is 4. I forgot the count. Okay, now sneak attack 5 is basically when you go up a certain building, and the moment you see the enemy mecha, you immediately shoot at them. Obviously what will happen is the enemy mecha will take damage, but also at the same time you will not be able to take damage because you are hiding behind a certain object. This is sneak attack 5. Okay, now sneak attack 6, I guess. Yeah, sneak attack 6. Now in order for you to actually use the sneak attack 6, you have to understand what does the sneak attack 6 look like. First of all, as I have already shown you, that Doomlight has AoE damage, meaning if you were to shoot near a certain mecha, it will still let the mecha take damage. So when you shoot directly below, it is actually causing the enemy below to take damage. Okay, basically speaking, you cannot see the enemy cannot see you, but what will happen is you are still gonna be able to do damage to the enemy. So yeah, this is a sneak attack 6. So you can basically use Hotsteel to do 6 type of sneak attack. Okay, now what about its ability to run away from the battlefield? Now it has 2 ability to run away from the battlefield. Let's say suddenly is getting attacked. The one of them is you can use this to actually use the tactical skill to get out of the field. This is one of them. The second one is, let's say you have already for some reason have used up your tactical skill. Okay, what you can do, you can use the propulsion module to actually go to an upper place so that they will not be able to hit you, or let's say you will get over a certain place so that you will not be able to, sorry, they will not be able to shoot you because you are literally behind a certain object. A good example would be this one. So I am using propulsion to get behind the object. Now the enemy mecha cannot shoot me back. Okay, so these are the few ways that you can use Hotsteel to actually get away from the battlefield. Okay, another example would be, let's say, same example, just different point of view. Okay, after using the tactical skill, if the enemy mecha suddenly hits me, I can basically use the propulsion to get away from that place. Okay, so yeah, that is a very useful thing. Also, in case if you're wondering, okay, then what is the total amount of distance this mecha can actually travel using the tactical skill? Well, let's see. So it has a, let's say, 79 meters. So it has a 79 meters distance of traveling away from the battlefield. Okay, so you have to calculate that as well, because as you play in the battle royale, not in the team deathmatch, you need to count of how many distance you must need to travel to actually go to a certain place. Okay, now let's talk about its ability to survive in water. Okay, so let's say you are above, you are suddenly in a place where the map is gonna end, but in such a way that if you are not careful, what will happen is the enemy pilot is going to be coming towards you to kill you. So what can you do? So this mecha has the ability to survive in water, because obviously this mecha has the propulsion ability. So once you use its propulsion ability, use the primary attack first. Okay, if all the primary attacks are depleted, use the secondary attack immediately, because when you use the secondary attack, it basically pauses in the air for a short period of time. Okay, and then once that is done, you can basically go up in the sky again, and once that is done, use the secondary attack, or the, sorry, use the primary attack first and then use the secondary attack. Okay, so that is basically how you can survive an enemy attack in the water, because most of the other mechas cannot survive in the water because both their primary and the secondary weapon get stuck, and not many of the mecha can actually use the propulsion or ability to go up. Okay, now in case if you're wondering, okay, I can understand majority of them right now, but the question remains is how much efficient is its tactical skill. Now the tactical skill of this mecha has two properties, as you already saw, that it can ram into an enemy and do additional damage towards them. Other than that, if there is no enemy nearby, then the question remains is how does this mecha move, and when can you actually stop this tactical skill? Well, here's the thing. This the ability of this mecha to use the tactical skill is wherever this crosshair is, it will go at those places. It doesn't matter left, right, up, down. It doesn't matter. It will be able to go any places. Okay, that is the thing. But when it comes to the stopping this mecha from going any more forwards, what you will be doing is once you use the tactical, you click on this tactical skill again to stop the attack. Okay, that is basically how you should be using this mecha when it comes to dashing from one place to another using the tactical skill. Okay, so overall this is the thing, and always remember that when you are fighting against another enemy mecha that can also use propulsion, don't just go up. Okay, you have to go up and spiral. You have to go up and spiral. The reason why you have to go up and spiral is because if you do not go up and spiral, what will happen is most of the time the enemy mecha will get behind you even when you are using propulsion and will be able to hit you back. Okay, a good example would be like as I use the propulsion, I am pressing the left keyboard. Okay, and as a result I was able to spiral a little bit. Okay, so that is basically how it goes. So yeah, I have been able to discuss most of the thing about this mecha in this manner. Now let's go to the lobby to actually talk about its module and its uh, mecha pilot mecha skill. Okay, first of all, when it comes to the hot steel, there will be two type of mods skill that I would recommend you. Okay, And what are those two types? Okay, first of all, this one is more of a tactical skill, where tactical skill based mods, okay, where you can basically get away from the battlefield as soon as possible. Okay, another one would be, let's say, have giving this mecha a lot of fuel, such as improve fuel tank, supercharged capacitor, and concurrent power supply. By doing so, what will happen is this mecha will be stay in the air for a longer period of time. So the question remains is, which one should you be using? Well, it depends on you, how you like to use the mecha, because I do not know which one you like, but these are the two options. One option is basically for tactical skill and reload rate. Another one is for fuel recovery and reload rate. Okay, so if you were to give 4 reload rate, then what will happen is the reload rate will go down by 12%. If you were to give fuel instead of reload, then obviously the reload rate is going to be 9%. Okay, so 9% is still a lot. Okay, so that's the thing. Now when it comes to the pilot skill, obviously this mecha is gonna be a little bit different compared to other mechas. Okay, so if you are planning on getting more durability, then this is a good option, but why not the best? Well, here is the thing: just having higher durability is not a very good option. Ability to survive in that battlefield is required you to use some methods by which you can save your durability. So from that point of perspective, this is not a very this is not the best option, it is a good option. This is the best option because, as I have already shown you, combat skill recovery mods with this will give Hotsteel more ability to run away in the battlefield as efficiently as possible. And here is the one: if you want a Hotsteel to have the ability to fly in the air for a longer period of time, then obviously this one is the best option. Now this one is the owner of the Hotsteel mecha, but here's the thing: this one basically converts 10% of mecha durability to shield durability. So that this is useful if you want to use a shield durability a lot more often than mecha durability. Okay, because shield durability recovers, but mecha durability do not recover. Okay, now this one is best in battle royale only, because if even if you do not have any repair kit, this one will be able to repair your hot seal very easily. This is actually a bad one because the maximum amount of damage you are gonna get is not worth it if you were to use this one, because you must need to lose about 90% of mecha durability in order to get about 13.5% of total max damage output. This one doesn't work on Hotsteel, so I'm not gonna say anything bad about it. Okay, this one is a bad option. Why? Because shooting an enemy with a secondary weapon to run away from the battlefield doesn't actually work with many of the mecha. So from that point of perspective, this one is a useless one because it has a triple negative point. What do I mean by that? Well, I gave triple negative point to this one because movement speed will increase by 10% for 3 seconds. This is one negative, 3 seconds only. Cooldown is 7 seconds, and when you hit the enemy mecha with the secondary weapon, so sorry, enemy mecha or enemy pilot with the secondary weapon. So this is a triple negative, which is why I do not recommend this on any mecha. Same as thing, nothing to say here. If you want high shield durability recovery, then this is the best option. Now this one is okay at the beginning of the game because the enemies will be very far away from you, but at the end part of the game it is not going to work. So this is a good option, not the best. This is the best option if you want high reload rate, because as you already saw, a Hotsteel have a very low clip capacity. So from that point of perspective, having high reload rate is a very good option. Not very good, best option. Okay, this one is good because it will only work if you have recovery item, otherwise it will not work. This one is good only when you are facing against enemy at the end part of the game in the battle royale, because it will only work when you use the tactical skill and it will do damage to the enemy mecha nearby. Okay, This is the best one if you want to use uh, hot steel to do 22% of total damage using the primary weapon. Because when you use a secondary weapon, the primary weapon will gain 22% buff for 7 seconds and it has a cooldown of 9 seconds. So yeah, from that point of perspective, this is actually the best damage dealing one, because you do not even need to shoot at the enemy, you just need to use a secondary weapon. This one also works on hot steel, but here's the thing, this is the best option and this is the good option, because you must need to stay in the air, otherwise it is not going to work, and it will basically increase the damage by 7.2% at 20 meters and 5.2% at 8 meters. Okay, this one will only work if you do not shoot for 4.5 seconds, then the next attack is going to be 8% more. Okay, so with all that in recommendation, the question remains, okay, then which one is the best? ROM is best for tactical skill recovery. Yori is best for durability recovery in battle royale. Fighter is very good for shield durability recovery. Norma is good for maximum damage output. Joanna is very good. Sorry, not very good. Okay, these are best. Okay, these 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 are the best. This one is best for making uh hot steel stay in the air for longer period of time. This one is very good if you want more shield durability and not uh Mecha normal durability. Okay, and finally this one is very good if you want to do a lot more reload, because hot steel reload rate is gonna be 32% less and will be able to do continuous damage to the enemy if Cyrus were to stay active, because hot steel has very low clip capacity. Okay, these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The rest of the others are good but not the best. Okay, so overall this is my recommendation on how to use hot steel. So if you find this video useful, then please give a like and subscribe and click the bell notification icons to get more of this type of topic on a regular basis. Thank you and see you again next time.